Hello and welcome back again. I've been gone for a while because it's the end of the year, and for students that means a lot of stress, a lot of work, and generally not a lot of time to do anything else like YouTube. But that doesn't mean I have been doing nothing. So hello everyone, I'm the one with the glasses, and today we are taking a look at unreleased scenes from Harry Potter. Scenes that were not in the film and also not in the deleted scenes. Also, a quick thing I want to say, this is the first video ever that I'm doing without a script whatsoever. The reason I'm doing this is so I hope it will feel a lot more natural, both to me but also to you. So anyway, I hope you are excited to see it. I'm definitely excited to show you some of the things that I've found. So let's just get on with it. We're going to start with Philosopher's Stone, obviously. And at first I have this picture of Harry looking at a goblin. It's quite a common used picture. I believe it's even used on the Pottermore page for goblins. But if you look at Philosopher's Stone, it's nowhere there. Next up, I have this small shot from one of the TV spots.
He's rather disagreeable, isn't he?
Yeah, that's a line from Hermione that's not in the film. Next, I'm going to show you two things, both from Dumbledore.
Number 3.
And most importantly of all,
that's obviously during a speech in the Great Hall, but that particular line is never used anywhere in the film.
first years should note that the Dark Forest is strictly forbidden, that no magic's to be used between the classes in the corridors.
Yeah, obviously the part about the Forbidden Forest, that is in the film, but the part about not being allowed to use magic in the corridors, that one goes completely unused. Next up, I have just a small scene.
The third floor corridor.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just Percy leading the Gryffindors into a hallway, but that hallway, we never see that in the actual film. I believe we do see something like that in Chamber of Secrets, but this is for Philosopher's Stone and we don't see that anywhere. Then I've got one really tiny shot from the troll scene. Yeah, it's not much, but it's not in there, it's not in the film. Like Hermione's hiding from the troll, obviously. The next one is one of the more interesting ones, in my opinion. In this picture, which was used on the back of a magazine, it shows Harry and Ron looking at the hourglasses. Now this is interesting for several reasons. First of all, they're the hourglasses. They were actually used in the films a couple of times, but they were always in the background, and no one ever really talked about them. But it seems at some point, well, they were going to, because it's very clear that Harry and Ron are looking at it. There's been lots of speculation about where this will have fit. Now my personal theory is that this will be after McGonagall took away all those points from Gryffindor, but before they actually got punished and they were sent into the Forbidden Forest. And they were just, you know, in the Great Hall looking, oh, we've lost all those points. In the books they put a lot more emphasis on, you know, all the points that they lost, which they kind of glossed over in the films. And then, lastly, I promised it, I'm going to talk about Peeves. Because Peeves was actually going to be in the film, he was going to be portrayed by this guy here. Some scenes were actually shot, but Chris Columbus didn't really like the way it turned out, so he ultimately, you know, just cut him from the film. But Rick Mayall, the actor, he said that he got that call that he was removed from the film about a month after they shot the scenes, which means these scenes were in the film for about a month, and they're probably still out there somewhere. Maybe one day, maybe one day. He is in all the games though, so we have that at least. Okay, next up we have Chamber of Secrets. I'll start with the most significant one from this clip here that was shown during a behind the scenes airing on television.
She's kind of a little less sort of obsessed with books and work. It doesn't take away her character, but it sort of just softens it down a bit, which is good.
Okay, it's not entirely clear what she's talking about, and then I mean Hermione, not Emma Watson. It's not entirely clear, but lots of sources on the internet have said that this was going to be the scene where Harry, Ron and Hermione were discussing the Polyjuice potion, but ultimately they reshot that scene in the library, which is the one that was used in the film. And this is the footage we have from it. I have more footage from it, actually, because... And there's a funny little backstory about me here. When I was younger, I used to be obsessed with these Panini Harry Potter stickers. I don't know how Panini did it, but they got a lot of unreleased footage on their stickers. That's something I noticed years ago, but I guess what I want to see is you'll see more stickers in these videos. You'll see a lot of them. In fact, here are 3 of them. Here is Hermione from that same scene I just showed you, but also here is Harry in that same scene and Ron. Then another scene that's not really clear, I'll also show that one in stickers. There is this one about Ginny. Now that's actually a picture that's going around the internet, but the quality of that picture is rather low. So I used the sticker because the quality is actually a lot higher. There's also another picture about that same scene, which is here. It's not entirely clear what this scene is about. It could be about the diary when Harry and Ron and maybe Hermione are talking about the diary and Ginny is kind of like looking. Or I've also heard it's after the dueling club, but you know, there's no real evidence as to where it will fit. And then I've got only one part left for Chamber of Secrets, which is this very blink and you'll miss it moment from one of the TV spots. Oh! Yeah, you caught that? Let me just slow it down for you. It's a scene from the slide into the Chamber of Secrets, but that particular shot was completely unused. Okay, for Prisoner of Azkaban, I looked a lot for different scenes, but there don't seem to be a lot of them. In fact, I only found one scene that was not used. It's a scene, it's not one shot, it's an actual scene that goes completely unused. So I'll just show you. This is one sticker, obviously, and then also this one. It looks like Harry, Ron and Hermione are arguing about something, but it's not clear about what it was. However, if you look at the actual sticker book, this leads me to believe that the discussion is about Crookshanks having possibly killed Scabbers. Also, that other sticker that you see down there, that's this one. I don't know if this is from the same scene, it could very well be. I've looked at the film and like this particular shot, I haven't seen it anywhere. So, Prisoner of Azkaban, I didn't find a lot, but Goblet of Fire, that's where it starts. I found like a crazy amount of footage from this. I don't even know where to start, so I'm just going to go through it chronologically. The first thing is this little clip that was used in the official trailer for Goblet of Fire. Yeah, it's obviously from after the Quidditch World Cup, when the Death Eaters are leviating the Muggles. Obviously that scene is in the film, but in the film you just see the Death Eaters. You never see that they're actually holding Muggles in the air. The next picture is about a bunch of Gryffindor boys looking at something. It's not clear what they're looking at, but based on their expression and mostly the expression of the girls, I'm thinking this has something to do with the Beauxbatons students. Talking about international students, we also have this picture. It's Malfoy sitting next to Victor Crumb. I really don't know why they deleted it. I would have really liked to see this actually. I would have just liked to see more interaction with the Clamfals and Beauxbatons students in general. Even if it's just like 10 seconds or just one line. I would have liked that, but yeah, they didn't do that. I mean, they did, and then they cut it. The next shot is another really small one. Yeah, it's Mad-Eye Moody entering the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. But that is completely not shown in the final film. There is more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class, actually. In fact, this one I think you will find very interesting. It's from the bonus material that's on the second disc.
I'd love to be working with him. So like it's pretty much like a dream come true.
Constant vigilance! Constant vigilance!
Brendan Gleeson makes...
Yeah, constant vigilance, that's kind of like Moody's catchphrase, but it's not used in the film. It's just nice to hear him actually say it for once, because more than that, we're not going to get. And then lastly, there's one other picture from the Defense Against the Dark Arts. It's about Harry and Hermione. And I'm not a Harry and Hermione shipper, but it kind of, to me, looks like Harry is proposing to her. No, is that just me? Okay, anyway, the next shot is from the Owlery. There are 2 pictures, one of Harry in the Owlery, and then also a sticker I was able to find of a statue in the Owlery. The owlery is featured once in the film, but it's when Harry asks Cho to go to the ball with him. But it seems like in this scene, this is about something completely else. It's also not winter. In the sticker album, it takes place right before Sirius's hat appears in the fire. So personally, I think this is when he sends a letter to Sirius, but that doesn't happen in the final film. Next up, we have this shot of Cedric and Cho, walking together, which is something I would have liked as well. Just more interaction between the characters in general. The only real interaction we see between the two is on the Yule Ball, but that's not enough. Then after that, I have a scene from after the first task. There's a pic of Harry with the eye open and then a pic of him closing the egg. I don't know how the other students will be okay with that. Harry opening a screaming egg. It's not night, it doesn't seem to be night, but still. Next up we have a picture of Victor Crumb holding the egg, which I think is from first task scene. But in the final film you don't see anything about either Cedric or Fleur or Victor on the first task. You only see Harry. At first when I saw it, I thought it was more like a promotional image rather than something that will actually be used in the film. But the only images I was able to find about it are the quality is not very high, which will be rather weird for a promotional image. Which leads me to believe that, yeah, at some point we were actually going to see more about the other students. Next up, we have another really interesting scene, in my opinion. It's rather long, it's from behind the scenes. It's not the actual scene itself, but it's the filming thereof.
We are here to see me dive in the deep waters of the ocean.
Really? Where do you jump from?
From up there, let's hope it goes well.
How did the training go?
It went very well, I think. I've come quite far since I started, so hopefully it'll pay off now. I'm really proud of the dive because we didn't have that much time, to get it sorted properly.
And then they cut it. If only he would have known at that point. This was before Harry knew what the second task was, and that's kind of like to give like a little hint. Look at the lake. That's where you should focus on. Next up, I have a couple pictures about Harry entering the prefect's bathroom. Now the scene in the prefect's bathroom is obviously still used in the film. Originally, apparently it was going to be longer, because here you can see Harry entering the bathroom with the egg, and then also a couple close-ups here. Yeah, next we have McGonagall's dance practice. Now what we got in the final film was just a funny little scene between Ron and McGonagall, which I really like. But originally, apparently, after that we were actually going to see more dance training between the students themselves. I don't think it's a bad idea that got cut, but it will still be nice just to see that scene. Next up, I have two pictures of Cho Chang. This one and then this one. It's not entirely clear, again, what this is about, but looking at her expression, I personally think this is actually an alternate scene of Cho's rejection. When Harry asks Cho to go to the ball with him and she has to say no. Next we have this picture. That's also a scene that is in the film, but that scene starts with, as you can see, Harry with the egg, and then Ron comes in because he's also rejected by Fleur. But it seems like Harry is actually talking to Hermione here, so it seems that at some point that scene was going to begin a little bit earlier. Next we have this shot of Moody sitting next to Rita Skeeter. Now I don't know if this is really significant. We don't see them together at all during the second task. I don't know if they even talked together. It could really be nothing, but it goes unused, so I just thought I'd include it anyway. A more interesting scene though is this one. Even as a kid, that one, I was always wondering, because I had a lot of copies of this particular sticker, and I could never quite put my finger on where it fit in the film, because I couldn't see it anywhere. After the second task, there was going to be like a scene, because where they're sitting, that's like in the middle of the lake. Maybe this is just them getting back. Next we have one clip from much later in the film.
Is it Voldemort?
No, it's McGonagall. Yeah, this is McGonagall obviously crying because Cedric Diggory died. One of the absolute most mind-boggling scenes, not mind-boggling scenes, but mind-boggling why they did not include this. We have this picture, and that also goes together with this picture. It's apparently from when Dumbledore explains Priori Incantatem. I don't really know how to pronounce that. But yeah, he explains that to Harry, which I really don't know why they didn't put that in the film. Because it's one of the most significant parts about, like, the end. And he just doesn't explain it. I really don't know why they did it. I really wish they kept it in. But yeah, they didn't. Then we also have this picture of Rita Skeeter, who is in a dress that I don't think we ever really see in the film. And now obviously, as you can see, this is a sticker, so you can kind of see where it will be in the film. This will be after the graveyard scene, but we don't really see Rita Skeeter after that, so it's really not clear what this scene will be about. Part of me wishes it will be the plot line about Rita Skeeter being an animagus, you know, being a beetle actually, but it seemed like they had removed that plot completely from the film. But of course this could also be something completely else. We don't know. Then we have this picture about Hermione resting her head on Harry's shoulder. They decided to remove Harry's proposal to her, so they thought it will be completely... It just made me think, was the director a Harry and Hermione shipper? You know, Deathly Hallows, the book had not been released yet. Maybe actually thought Harry and Hermione ended up together. And they filmed these scenes, and then J.K. Rowling came up and said, hey, no, and then they deleted those scenes. That's actually a possibility, I think. And then we end on a scene that has completely haunted me for the longest time since I got my Goblet of Fire sticker book. It is the famous, or infamous I should say, waterfall scene. There is this picture, there are loads of pictures, just look on the internet, there are loads of pictures from this scene. They were used anywhere from calendars to, of course, stickers. We have this one of Harry at the waterfall, then we have this one of Hermione and Ron, then we have this one of Harry, Hermione and Ron together walking away from the waterfall, and we even have this one. In case you are wondering what the weird effect was, yeah, the sticker book of Goblet of Fire came with like these weird 3D glasses, and in the back of the album there were a couple 3D stickers that actually worked rather well. I even have some memories of that particular sticker, because that's one of the few that I could never get my hands on. Apparently this was going to be the ending scene for Goblet of Fire. They ended up using that scene, but not at the waterfall. I don't know why, because it looks beautiful, and I would have really liked to see it. If only because even as a kid, this was one of the first stickers that I really had the feeling like I was missing something. My copy of the DVD didn't have a scene, but then no copy had that scene, and well, yeah, that's right, no copy has that scene. So anyway, that is it for part 1. Going into the further videos, like for the first couple films, there are not a whole lot of unreleased scenes. Goblet of Fire is already a lot more, but wait until you see the next few, because they have even more. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back for part 2.